Hey guys, it's David Pingree. We're out here at Glen Helen with my friend Andy Bakken doing our dialed in segment today on the Husqvarna FC 350. A cool bike, definitely unique. And so Andy had not really ridden one of these recently. We wanted to get him on it and kind of get a fresh opinion, fresh thoughts. So Andy, you put some time on this bike today. Thanks for helping us, by the way. What did you think, first of all, of kind of the overall performance of the bike? Totally stock trim, stock settings.
Yeah, to be honest, I loved it. I hopped on the thing and I felt pretty comfortable right at first. And it's a pretty cool bike because it's not as heavy as a 450, but it still has, the power. As not as much as the 450, but it's still good, and it's a great bike to just ride and just have fun on.
Yeah, this would be like we always call it a great bike for vet guys or guys who just like to ride, don't really race much, but even a bike for the hills.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd love to take this thing in the hills and see what it could do out there, because on the track, I really liked it a lot.
So you went back and forth with the maps 1 and 2. What did you think of those two? The traction control. Let's start there.
First, I started with map number 2, and I really liked how it pulled. It seemed like it pulled, a little longer than map number 1. And when I did go to map number 1, I felt like it overall just wasn't good, at all. To be honest, I mean, not bad, but compared to the number 2 setting, it just seemed like number 2 was just overall better all the way around.
Yeah, nothing better about 1 than 2. You like 2 in every way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and again, on different bikes, that's going to feel different. That's his opinion on this one. So it's kind of general consensus 2 is a better map, especially if I would say for like an intermediate expert rider. What about the traction control? You had mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, traction control, I'd never ridden anything with traction control before. So when I tried it, it almost seemed like I couldn't tell that much. But when I did feel it, it almost like it didn't really help when it started breaking loose. So to me, I couldn't really tell, to be honest with you.
So you'd probably just leave it off, run map 2.
Yeah, I just left it off and map 2, and that was my best overall feel.
That's cool. It's good to get different opinions. And again, this thing is as simple as just touching a button while you're going. You don't have to stop, shut it off, nothing. Yeah. So it's very easy to change and play with.
Yeah, that's what was cool, is I could just, while I was riding, I can just switch it over and just tell instantly. So it's pretty cool.
And another thing I love about these Husqvarnas is you can adjust the fork compression, again, on the fly. And so that may change mid-moto, definitely track to track. So starting on this suspension, the standard 350 comes at 10.4 bar, and all of your clickers at 15 out on rebound, compression, and you went to 10.8 bar again on your fork. That was consistent with what we did on the other bikes, just get a little more firm feeling.
Yeah, it seemed like coming into corners, it wanted to dive a little bit. The front end wanted to kind of stick down. So we added a little bit of pressure, and it seemed to help the forks ride a little bit higher.
And then when you hit 10.8, that was good, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to really go any more than that. It seemed like that was pretty good. Once I did that, it seemed like the forks got a little stiffer, so I ended up softening the compression a little bit on the forks after I added the pressure, and it seemed to balance it out really well.
Yeah, and this is the same exact thing that I ended up doing on both of the 250 and 450. I was going stiffer, going to 10.8 bar, and then opening up your compression clickers a little bit to get that plush feeling back. And that seems like a really good setting. So you went to 18, you went 3 clicks out. Your rebound was at 15, that stayed stock. And then on your shock, didn't touch the low speed, so the balance felt good to you?
Yeah, the balance felt good. When I first got on it, the rear end seemed a little high, and so that's when we adjusted the high speed and adjusted the rebound. But I think, I didn't start with the forks, and I think when you mentioned the forks, once I did the forks, then it seemed like to balance out the rear and the front.
Yeah, so he went just opened the high speed a half a turn there from 2 to 2.5 on the high speed, and rebound was 12 rather than 15, so just slowed that rebound down a touch. And again, he said that's something that's been a common, not uncommon, is for guys to change the rebound, so that definitely quieted it down for you?
Yeah, quieted it down, and it seemed to even out the front and the rear together.
So you had a good balance with those, and you were happy with the way that worked. You could feel like you could go race it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this thing felt really good. So once I made those minor adjustments, it was good.
Yeah, and I give air forks a hard time a lot, but this fork in particular is super easy to change. It's one pressure that equates to spring rate. You don't have to worry about chambers and doing some like, geophysicist, math work, something that Goodwill Hunting would work out on a school chalkboard. It's just one pressure, you put it in, that's your spring rate, and you can literally adjust compression on the fly. So really easy to adjust and work with. So sounds like Andy was pretty happy with this thing, had a lot of fun. Anything else you'd recommend on this thing or changes you guys made?
No, I mean the gearing felt good. Yeah, everything else felt good. It was right at home. So
yeah, these things come ready to hit the track pretty much. A couple other little tips we'll give. We've done this on the other bikes as well. Try the short pull throttle cam on these. Stock one is gray. There's an optional black one that's just a shorter throw. These all have them in it, so he didn't go back to back on this, but I can tell you that pretty much everyone likes it. That's why they leave it in. Better for arm pump, better for throttle control. It's just better. Also, you can remove the screen on this filter cage and put a 2-stroke filter cage on it. Drill some holes in this air box. That will open it up and let it breathe better. That is not something Husqvarna approves because that is a backfire screen, but I will tell you that we do it on all our garage wheel bikes and race teams do it. So if you're looking for performance, which you may be doing, that's something you can do as well. Andy, thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate it.
yeah, thanks for having me. I had a blast.
The wind bugged you at Glen Helen today?
A little bit, but we got through.
It was hurricane winds for us today. Thank you so much to everybody that came out today. Anthony, the guys from Husqvarna, we really appreciate their support. Thanks for watching. If you have one of these 350s, try those settings. We think you'll like them. Enjoy that bike. Thanks for watching.